about different types of negotiation and the strategies that can be used when negotiating. So the purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspect of a past or future negotiation in his or her own life. And ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Bert Naude, who will be speaking to the title, Let's Negotiate. Let's Negotiate, Bert Naude.
Mr. Toastmaster, ladies and gentlemen, the guy walks up to the lady. Can I buy you a drink? And then you can tell me your name. John Doe goes to his boss. Mr. Bossman, I think I need a raise. Mr. Bossman says, really, Joe? Tell me why you think you deserve a raise. What are we talking about? Conversations, yes, but most importantly, negotiations. There is a saying, the quality of your life is determined by the quality of your negotiations. Now, I would venture to say, the quality of your life is determined by the quality of your negotiations. Our whole lives we are negotiating. From the moment the baby opens his eyes and screams for a bottle, till the moment they're shut. When I was younger, I took my then girlfriend out to a fancy dinner one evening. I walked her to a lovely spot in the garden, got down on my knees and produced a sparkling, shiny object, and I offered it to her. The only thing she had to do was reply yes. Yes to the question of, will you spend the rest of your life with me? You see, life is a series of negotiations, mostly parading as normal conversations. I want to share with you a negotiation I had with myself. Yes, I know that this may sound strange, but this is exactly what happened. I needed to convince myself that I would be able to prepare for an upcoming challenge in a relatively short amount of time. A good friend of mine called me up in February 2 years ago. He managed to secure 2 entries into a 3-stage mountain bike race, all the way from Drakensberg down to Scottsboro. Almost 300 kilometers spread over 3 days. Now, I was immediately keen for this adventure, but I realized that it would cost an arm and a leg, and that I would need to get my fitness level from where it was currently to up here, but I needed to get it to be able to complete this challenge. I said I would let him know the following day. I needed to convince myself that the money would be well spent and that I would actually be able to up my fitness level. Now, with negotiation, there are different negotiation styles. We have competitive. This is a win-lose situation, where one party is clearly the winner in whatever is being negotiated. We have accommodation. This is a lose-win scenario. One party must be willing to make concessions, and the relationship here is more important. Compromise. This is where the counterparts meet halfway, where all parties involved make concessions. And lastly, we have collaborative. This is when brainstorming happens, when ideas are bounced around for a solution that meets everyone's needs. I think in retrospect I used a combination of some compromise, some accommodation on myself. Now, to make it possible for my present self and to maintain a positive relationship with my future self, I knew I had to follow a rigorous training regime for 12 weeks. My future self recognized this offering and decided no hard feelings will be had about the time and money that goes into all of this. Important, throughout our negotiations, we maintained a professional composure and to realize that it was important to find and build common ground. We would both enjoy me being fitter, money would be well spent, and the memories would stand us in good stead. What we then did was to engage in mutually beneficial discussions. Presently, sure, I don't know, 12 weeks isn't really a lot to up my fitness level. As for my bike, I would need to get it serviced and most likely have to replace a few parts. Future me, I hear what you are saying, but look at this tailor-made exercise program. It's really not that hard to follow. As for your bike, it's way overdue for a service in any case, whether you do this challenge or not. Also important in negotiations is to realize what is not negotiable. If one party fails to accommodate the non-negotiable of the other party, it may put the whole negotiation in jeopardy. You make good points in future of that, but you as well as I do know how I enjoy a beer after work. I don't know how I would be able to give up beer for 12 weeks. Dear that is not exactly not what I expect. Though you'll have to consider a concession here. I also know how you like to have a good cry on the weekend. I propose that you skip on the beer during the week, have yourself a good cry, the rest of the time you focus on the bill. In the end, the negotiation came to a fruitful conclusion. I decided to commit my time, energy and money to this adventure, and it turned out to be one of the most memorable occasions on my mountain bike. Now this always seems like a lot of mumbo jumbo. Words like accommodation, competitive, compromise, phrases like finding and building common ground, maintaining a professional composure. But it would be wise to remember that the quality of your life is determined by the quality of your conversations and negotiations. Mr. Toastmaster.